Hi guys, welcome back to Alpha Physio Pelvic Care, all things pelvic health and beyond. And today I'm making my video on menstrual disc. I have made a video on menstrual cup before, so if you're interested, check it out. In this video, my aim is not to compare one versus another, but to highlight pros and cons and the uses of a menstrual disc as a product itself. If you like this video, first of all, I hope you watched it until the end to get all my tips. Don't forget to press like and subscribe to my channel, and let's go. First of all, I would like to mention that this disc is, although it might look bigger, it is very, very, very soft. And I think it has been made with analogy with a contraceptive diaphragm. If you compare disc and contraceptive diaphragm, these are kind of similar in design, but the diaphragm is more softer because obviously it doesn't have to hold that amount of blood. Let's talk about first the form and shape and how much liquid the disc can fill. The disc can fill up to, I think this might be 50 to 70 milliliters of menstrual blood. So generally it's about twice more as a regular cup. It's quite fitting. However, in practice, such overflow of the content of the blood might not be very beneficial, because you will be just carrying a lot of liquid inside, a lot of blood, and if you make a move that will be somehow weird, or maybe you get up and you lay down, or maybe you had to run and jump, it can leak easier because it is so overfilled. So if I hold here the disc, and if it's full of water and I squeeze it, you can see how the diaphragm lifts here, so the contents automatically can overflow. But let's go back to it in a bit, and let's talk first about insertion and anatomy, how it sits. In order to have effective use of the disc, it needs to sit really high up to your cervix, and it needs to cover the cervix. In order to cover the cervix, you have to insert the disc under an angle. So it has to go under a certain angle, and I have been using this disc, and from my experience you will get better angle if you stand. For me, if I would sit, I would miss the correct angle and the cup would leak. And the reason for it is quite easy. If you stand, the vaginal canal is more straighter, so you can go straight under and catch the back of the cervix, and then you just adjust the disc and it sits up there. If you sit, the vaginal canal is slightly deformed, so is the pelvic floor position, it's different, and then when you go, you might try to push it, and it can go in front of the cervix, and therefore it will leak. So personally, in standing, however, you can try definitely different positions. You can stand with one leg open, you can squat, it's really up to you. But for cup to be effective, you have to, let me just grab my glass here, analogy of the vagina, not the best one because it's quite rigid. So you have to go first of all behind the cervix, so you really aim inserting the disc towards your tailbone. Think about pushing it back and towards the tailbone, because as you insert it and push it back, it will slide up, okay? And as you insert it all the way up in front, you push it up, you need to tuck it around your pubic bone, okay? And this about it. Now, you can see the disc has been slightly deformed here, okay, because this is not a natural soft tissue of vagina, but also the disc will not sit perfectly round in your vagina. It creates a seal around the cervix, and that part is naturally wider, so it will sit there nicely and snug around the cervix, but it will not be perfectly round. It will have some kind of deformity and squeeze, and it will not create a suction. In order to insert disc this high, you have to be comfortable to go relatively deep into your vagina with your finger, okay? So when you insert the disc, you need to go inside the vagina and push it up to find it, to find your pubic bone, to find your pubis here, and hook it around that area so it sits as it's supposed to sit. And it should sit nearly horizontally. However, it won't. Because of the anatomy, it will be under a bit of an angle. The seal is good enough to provide, protection from the leaks. However, leaks can happen. Because the disc has such a big capacity to collect the blood, this might happen anyways. Now, we insert the disc, we walk around with it. One thing, again, I would like to mention, sorry I forgot, same as mentioned with the cup, same as inserting any objects in your vagina, you have to be comfortable inserting things in your vagina. If you do have vaginismus, if you have tight pelvic floor, if you just don't want to get your things inside your vagina, the disc is probably not the optimal solution for you. You squeeze it like this and it goes like a tampon, so nice and easy. Yeah, it's not hard at all, it's very soft. So we inserted the disc, we walk around happily, time to remove it. Remember, bigger capacity, more blood. How the disc is removed? Since there is no tail to pull, however, I think there are some models with a little pulling string. This particular is not, okay? I need to go and find the edge, the front edge of the disc. I need to push it down and move it at the exit of the vagina. So here's the sitting disc, happily sitting here, up. I'm going inside, I'm catching the edge, all right? I'm pulling it down. Guys, the moment you're going to pull it out, if it's full, it will start pouring from the front. So this is definitely a thing to do above the toilet or in the bathroom or somewhere where you're okay for blood to spill. Unlike the cup, and I said I'm not going to compare, but unlike the cup, if you can retain some of the blood inside, here the disc, you cannot pull it out and have the blood inside. The way it's made to remove, the blood is meant to pour out. The good thing about that is, if you wash your hands well, let's say, and if you are in a place where you don't really want to remove the disc and wash it and reinsert it, what you can do is, you wash your hands well, you just take it out from your vagina, let the contents pour out, put it back, and change it in the most convenient way. For example, you are outside in the mall, you don't want to do all this washing thing, remove the disc in the public toilet, you take it out, you pour blood out, you push it back, and you go and wash it at home. I would not suggest to do it as a habit, okay? You do want to, once you remove it, once all these bacteria came in contact with the air, you really want to wash it. People who produce the disc advertise it like that you can't pour out the blood and reinsert it. I would do this only in really emergency situations where there is no way you can deal with the whole washing thing right now. Otherwise, take yourself a habit to remove the disc and wash it. So remember, you're gonna pour everything out. You can pour the contents of the blood, then you can remove it and wash it. Now, this disc, this particular one, has small ridges, so you have to be quite careful and particular of washing in between here, those ridges, because you don't want a lot of at least visible biofilm stuck there. Of course, there will be some biofilm. The natural bacteria that you have in your vagina, they will stick to the disc. But it's only for personal use, so this is your bacteria. However, you do need to wash it well here in between if it has those small ridges and edges and so on. I don't think disc is a good thing to measure the amount of blood you are losing, because the moment you need to remove it, the blood will pour out. There is almost no way you can remove it out. Otherwise, it's quite comfortable thing to use. You can exercise with it. Remember, it does not have a seal. It might leak. In my case, it did leak. I'm a Pilates instructor, so I move a lot. I have at least 2 clinical Pilates sessions a day that I teach. So I go up and down and so on. And if I'm on my first day, I might leak a little bit. So an extra precaution as a panty liner. However, same can happen with a cup. So really, it is not 100%. Any product is not 100% leak proof. It's normal. As soon as you learn to use it properly and correctly, then it can protect you the best it can. These particular discs, and not only these, but generally menstrual discs, are advertised as something that you can use and also have sex during period, mess-free sex during period. Let me talk about this. I'm inserting the disc here. If you are on your first or the second day, or maybe third, depending how much you bleed, day of your period, here sits the ring, nice and tall. And if it's full, and then comes your partner, and there is action happening, you will be pushing the ring. You will be moving around the ring. It can overflow, all right? It does not provide you leak-free period sex. If you just change the ring, yeah, you know you're in your period, you know it's not very heavy. If you just change the ring and you just put it as a precaution, then it can work. Also, not every partner might be happy about feeling something in your vagina. Let's put it that way. Let's put it the way it is. Because a ring does sit under a certain angle, some positions might not be comfortable for the partner. They will feel the edges. They will feel the ridges. Okay, so this is up to you and communicating with your partner. If you can find the position, maybe the penetration is not so deep, the movements are not so strong, and you can figure it out, definitely it's okay to have sex with the disc, but is not 100% guarantee that your partner won't feel it, or that you might not feel it, or that it will not leak. Because as the movement happens, it will be pushed around. It doesn't have a seal, it doesn't have this suction seal, so it can be pushed around easier and overflow might happen. I generally do use discs. I also use cups, and so far, honestly, I haven't decided which one I prefer. Sometimes it's really up to my mood what I use. I also do it for the purpose of trying and reporting back to you. However, I do believe this is a great invention. The disc, it's a great invention because it's nice and soft. Has quite good capacity, and if you are okay of a bit of a mess that might get with the removal of the disc, definitely give it a go. I would recommend you and try. Some people feel a little bit heavier with the cups. Some people feel they cannot insert the tampon falls out. It might be something that might work for you if you have a prolapse, maybe not very heavy prolapse, maybe grade 1 or 2 prolapse, because there is no suction, no pulling down, and it's really, really light. Okay, the ring itself, it's really light, really soft, and it's kind of catching behind the cervix. So give it a go. A prolapse is definitely not a contraindication of using the disc. Right, I think I try to give you as much information as possible. I'm pretty sure you will have more questions. Absolutely feel free to pop them in the comments, and I will be happy to answer them. If necessary, create more videos. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you learned some new information for you today, and we'll see you back very, very soon. Bye.